Hey you guys, it's Megan. Today I am embarking on a new series that I'm going to be doing throughout the summer, and it's going to be my signature eyeshadow looks. And eyeshadow is my favorite part of makeup. I love it so much. I love being creative with it, but there are some looks that I just go back to time and time again. And today I'm doing my signature smoky eye, and it's using the Maybelline Makeover Mocha palette, which is a great basic palette that you can get a perfect smoky eye with. So I never really do the intro after I do the video, but I thought for a tutorial this would be better so you guys can see the look now, and then we'll jump into how I did every step. So I hope you guys will enjoy this series. I'm really excited about it, and hopefully you'll gain some new tips or new looks to try out with any products that you have at home, because of course you don't need the same products I'm showing. These are just the ones that I always reach for when I'm doing my signature look. So if you guys like how this eyeshadow looks, and I did the rest of my face besides my foundation, if you want to see how I got this look, then let's just jump into it. So to start, you guys, I put down my Urban Decay primer potion as a base and then topped it with the e.l.f. HD powder, because that for me is the perfect base to then put on cream shadows and powder shadows. So that just works the best for me, and it helps your makeup last much longer if you have oily or eyelids that just don't like to have eyeshadow adhere to them. So next I'm going to put down my Barely Beige, but Barely Branded by Maybelline is basically the exact same. This is a color tattoo and it's a cream eyeshadow. And I'm going to use my finger to apply this to my lids. And this is an optional step, but I think it gives really beautiful dimension to the eye look, and I need the longevity that a cream shadow provides, so I always put a cream shadow. And Barely Branded is a permanent color, so you can pick that up at any drugstore, and the color tattoos are really great, especially for the price. So this is just a champagne color. If you have Steal a Kitten Smudge Pot, if you have MAC Rubenesque, you can use anything that is like a light shimmery color, because I think, like I said, this will give beautiful dimension to the eyeshadow look. And I'm just using two fingers, one that had the product that I applied straight and then one to blend it out. So I just was going back and forth with those to get a really diffused eyeshadow look. So that's all I'm going to use with cream products. And then I am going to basically do this whole tutorial on all of the eyeshadows are from this palette, which is called Makeover Mocha from Maybelline. And this was a limited edition palette, but you can find it on eBay, so I'll have a link down below for you guys to more easily find it. But this is a beautiful palette if you want a classic smoky eye like I'm going to create today, because it has two brown shades in the middle and both of them are matte, and then it has a satin skin tone lighter shade, and then a really beautiful sparkly charcoal color at the end. So I love this palette. I always reach for this when I am looking for a smoky eye, so this is what I'm going to do for my signature smoky eye look. And I have several different brushes that I'm going to be using, but really you just make it work with the brushes that you have. So first I'm going to start off with this medium brown shade, and I'm taking my MAC 217 and I'm just getting that in the eyeshadow. And this is more of a warm tone brown, and I'm putting this all over my eye and into the crease. And everyone's eye shape will be different, so basically my best tip for you is just to practice a lot with different techniques and different brushes, because there's no way I understood blending and all of these things that I do without really thinking now. I couldn't do all this when I first started with makeup, so it's really trial and error. And I have a really great brush for those of you like me who don't have a lot of space between your brow and your eye, like your crease. So I'm going to use that in a second, but this is just like a all over base color that this whole look is basically about dimension and creating different shades. A smoky eye is basically to make your eye look smoldering, and I think having a bunch of dimension, which is perfect for this palette because it has all of the dimensional shades that you need. So that is just my base color that I'm going to lay down. And then I am going to take my Louise Young LY38 brush, and it has HD powder all over it. But this is an amazing brush for the crease, especially, like I said, if you have troubles placing your crease color or outer V color. If you have not a lot of space between your lid and your brow, this is the best brush that I've found, and it is a higher price point, but I think tools are really super valuable to have, and I'm going to take that darker brown shade on this brush. So just get a little on the tip, and your palette should not come broken like that. I just broke mine and had to repress it. So this shade is going to go into the crease, which is you see how my lid like creases in to a deeper portion where like it goes around your eyeball. Some people don't have that, but I do. And so what I'm going to do is place this right into that crease area and sort of go back and forth just within that hollow. And that might look a little creepy, but you really don't feel anything at all. And it just places the color, because where you put darker color, it recesses it. And that's how you make like the really beautiful smoky eye. And so I'm just going back and forth, no fancy motions. What's amazing about this Louise Young brush, I believe it's how it's cut. The longest bristles get straight into that deepest part, but then the other bristles are blending the edges. As you can see on the end, I haven't taken any extra steps to blend the edges, but they're already becoming diffused. So again, I just dip in the tip of that brush, put it into my crease with my eye relaxed, and then just go back and forth. And you can add as much or as little of this deepest shade as you want. I am just adding like a moderate amount. You can of course make this lighter or darker, and this is just the palette that I always reach for when I do smoky eyes. But you can use colorful shades. It's basically about the technique, and for me the tools that really makes the difference, especially this brush. This, I cannot live without it now because it makes blending and the crease work so easy. So this is what we have so far, and it's all matte right now except for the cream shadow, which was a little bit of shimmer. So it's having this nice glow come from beneath, but it is still mostly matte, and I love that. So that is what we have now, and I'm going to go back to the MAC 217 brush, which we applied that warm tone brown, and I'm just going to go along the edges, and this will help again blend it. And blending is something that is super important for eyeshadow looks. I think it makes it look really polished. Sometimes you don't want a really blended look, but for me, when I do smoky eyes, I do want it to be blended and diffused. So I'm just doing back and forth motions. Some people do like circles. I mostly do back and forth. And you want that darkest color to still be there, so you don't want to really go hard over it, but I'm just going over the edges. So for me, it's basically on my brow bone that I'm blending. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lightest color. So this is like a creamy ivory shade, and I'm placing this in my inner corner of both eyes, of course, and especially over the cream base, that shimmery cream eyeshadow base. This just brightens up the eyes. Hopefully you could tell between before I put that on and now, it's much more bright, and that you really need that brightness when you do a smoky eye. And it's just subtle because this doesn't have glitter or anything. It's just a satin shade, which means it has like some shimmer, but it's not glitter. And it looks really natural and beautiful, especially under the lights. So that is what I'm going to do for like the lid and the crease. And now I'm going to take my Urban Decay Perversion liner, which is just a really dark black shade. And I'm going to get this really close to my lash line, and this is where the really smoky part is going to come in. So this is such a creamy eyeshadow or eye pencil that you don't really need to work very hard, and that's what's awesome about it. So I'm just going to lightly drag it in like short strokes along my upper lash line. And I don't want a really thick line for this. This is just going to help the darkest shade in the Makeover Mocha really stick to it. So I'm going to do one eye first. And I am taking this awesome little brush that I got from Five Below. This is just a little smudger brush. And this was from the Studio Basics kit. So it was really inexpensive and just basically a short sort of dense brush. And I'm going to take that charcoal sparkly color and I'm going to push this over the black liner and I'm smoking it out. So smoky eye, this is where the smokiness is coming in. So I'm just going to keep building that up until I get the darkness that I want. And I love that this shade has some really pretty sparkle because again it adds dimension, and that's what you really want in any eyeshadow look, but I think especially on a smoky look you want that dimension. As you can see, there is some fallout, so we're gonna go in and clean that up after, but don't worry about that yet because you can always do your foundation second, so you don't have to worry about this. But I'm just sort of packing on that color. And why we put that black base, not only is it to help this shadow stick, but also because it'll get that really deep, rich black color right at the base. So this eye, I think, is pretty good, and I really like how it looks. So I'm just going to do the other eye and come back and meet you for the final touches. For a final touch on the eyes, I'm just going to take my MAC 217 again and just lightly go over the middle portion of your eye, so the lid, and that just helps really blend out that darkest color that we put down and makes it sort of fade into the other colors. So now I'm just taking a big powder brush, this is a Real Techniques, and I'm just going to sweep away that shadow fallout. And if you, like I said, I usually do my foundation second. Today I did my foundation first, but I would usually do my eyes first and then my foundation, so you really wouldn't have to worry about that shadow falling down onto your face. So now that we have that pretty cleared up, and I'm going to do my concealer after this. I'm then going to do mascara. Of course, this is L'Oreal Voluminous Full Definition. I love L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. Any really volumizing mascara will be perfect for this because, of course, you want really defined lashes. And okay, I got some up there. I'll show you how you can fix that really easily. So don't freak out if you get mascara on your work of art. Volumizing mascaras are awesome, I think, for every day, but especially for smoky eyes because you want those lashes to be able to be seen because your eye makeup is darker. And so I love L'Oreal Voluminous, it's my fave, and that's what I choose to use. You could also apply some fake lashes, that would be beautiful, but today I don't really have any plans, I'm just going to like the post office, so this is just one coat of L'Oreal Voluminous Full Definition. I love it, and I think that this is perfect for any smoky eye. So a way that you can easily clean up any little mascara marks that, if you're a klutz like me, you get pretty regularly, just take a dry Q-tip and just go over those little areas after the mascara has dried. So that's why I don't deal with it right when it happens, because if you try to move the mascara when it's wet, it'll just smudge. So this just gets rid of it with no problem. Let me make sure I don't have any other darkness. And yeah, so that is my signature smoky eye look. I think it's beautiful. I love it so much. This little palette is like something that I would be lost without because it just has every color I need for a smoky eye. Under the eyes, I'm just going to add a little bit of my Collection 2000 concealer just to make sure that's still brightened up. And I'm going to blend it out with my Beauty Blender. And this will cancel out any of that darkness that the fallout could have created. Now for cheeks with a smoky eye, you can really go a bunch of different ways, but I really like to keep it pretty simple and mostly just defined. So I'm going to use my MAC blush in the Perfect Cheek, which was a limited edition shade, but it's basically just a like dusty mauvey pink. And I'm using my Real Techniques multitask brush. And why I love this with a smoky eye is that it just defines the cheek subtly, but really beautifully. And I think that it complements the eye look because it is like a little pinkiness on the cheeks, and it really is the perfect cheek. So if you can find this at a CCO or something, I would really recommend this because I use it a ton, and it's just a great tone of blush to have in your collection. And then for lips, you can basically do anything. My current favorite like nudish lip, which I think would look really pretty with this, is a combination of two products that I'm trying to use up. It's the Tarte Lip Surgeons in Glitzy, which is like a, I don't even know, like a bronzy color, sort of. Bronzy pink. And it does have glitter, but I think it's a really pretty shade. And then topping it off with the Rimmel Stay Glossy Gloss in Nonstop Glamour. This is a beautiful gloss, a great formula, and a perfect topper for this lipstick. So that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoy this, and I really appreciate you guys' time for hanging out with me and watching me do my makeup. It's always really fun, and I hope that you got some tips from this, or you found a new product that you are interested in trying out or trying to find a similar one in your collection. So I hope you all have a really great day. Stay beautiful and classy, San Diego, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye!